Imagine being trapped on a freezing mountain in the pitch black. You find a warm cabin. Inside, there are matches, heavy coats, and enough canned food to feed you for a year. But instead of eating, you lay down on a bed and you slowly starve to death over 3 agonizing months. This isn't a horror movie. In 1978, this exact scenario happened. 5 young men drove up a mountain road in California. They abandoned a perfectly working car, walked 20 miles into a frozen wilderness, and died under circumstances so terrifying the police still cannot explain them. Welcome to the Cold Case Frequency. Today, we open the file on the American Dyatlov Pass, the Yuba County 5. It was February 24th, 1978. 5 best friends from Yuba City, California, Ted, Jack, Bill, Jackie, and Gary, went to a college basketball game. They were all young men, aged 24 to 32, who lived with mild intellectual disabilities or psychiatric conditions, but they were high-functioning. Their families lovingly called them the boys. After the game, they bought some snacks at a local store around 10 p.m. They were supposed to drive straight home. They had a massive Special Olympics tournament the next morning that they had been practicing months for. They never made it. 4 days later, police found their car, a 1969 Mercury Montego. But it wasn't on the highway. It was abandoned on a rugged, high-elevation dirt road in the Plumas National Forest, 70 miles in the wrong direction. Here is where the logic shatters. The police examined the car. It was in perfect working order. It had a quarter tank of gas. It was slightly stuck in a small snowdrift, but 5 strong men could have pushed it out in seconds. Even if they couldn't, all they had to do was walk back down the road they came from to find help. Instead, the evidence showed that all 5 men left their warm car, wearing only light jackets and sneakers, and began walking up the mountain, deeper into the wilderness, deeper into the freezing snow. Why would 5 men abandon safety to walk 19 miles into a deadly winter storm? A local man named Joseph Schons later told police a terrifying detail. He had been stuck in the snow near that exact spot on the same night. He reported seeing headlights and then a group of men walking around the car. He screamed for help. The moment he yelled, the men stopped talking, turned off their flashlights, and vanished into the dark woods. Months later, when the snow finally melted, the awful truth was discovered. 20 miles from the car, deeply hidden in the woods, searchers found the U.S. Forest Service trailer. Inside, wrapped head to toe in 8 heavy army blankets, was the body of 32-year-old Ted Weiher. He had lost over 100 pounds. His beard growth proved he had survived in that freezing trailer for up to 13 weeks before finally dying of starvation and hypothermia. But this is the detail that will keep you awake at night. Ted Weiher starved to death while entirely surrounded by food. Inside a storage shed right next to the trailer, there was a 1-year supply of sea rations. Only a dozen cans had been opened. There was a heavy butane tank for heat, completely untouched. There were matches and paper, but no fire had ever been lit. Ted was a smart man. He knew how to open a can. He knew how to start a fire. So why did he lay in the dark and freeze to death? What was he hiding from? Was someone, or something, waiting outside that door? Outside the trailer, in the surrounding woods, police found the scattered, animal-ravaged remains of Jack, Bill, and Jackie. They had all died of exposure. But there is one final puzzle piece. Gary Mathias, the only man in the group diagnosed with schizophrenia, was never found. No body, no bones. The only trace of Gary was found inside the trailer with Ted. Sitting on the floor were Gary's sneakers. Why did Gary take off his shoes? Did he take Ted's heavier leather boots to hike out into the snow to find help? Or did something else happen in that dark forest? We know how they died, but almost 50 years later, we still don't know why. Why abandon the car? Why ignore the food? And where is Gary Mathias? Some say they ran from a threat. Some say they simply suffered a tragic group panic, but the Plumas National Forest isn't talking. What do you think chased 5 men into the freezing dark? Leave your theory in the comments below. If you want to help unseal more files, hit the like button and subscribe to the Cold Case Frequency. Until next time, stay out of the woods. Signing off.